on this Sunday night, pleading for a reprieve at the pumps, with the end of the excise fuel tax freeze just weeks away.
Don't make life more expensive for Canadians who are still struggling.
What many are calling on the Prime Minister to do. Trade talk anxiety, the looming deadline of 50% tariffs.
The ripple effect is severe and it is a real threat.
And what a virtual trade meeting today has garnered. Hurricane Lala turns deadly, skirting the big island of Hawaii but inflicting widespread damage. And box office bonanza.
It's just the summer that everyone's been waiting for.
What's driving more of us to spend more at the movies?
Global National. Reporting tonight, Colleen Christie.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. As the war in Iran continues, so do high fuel prices. And for many Canadians, the savings from the suspension of the fuel excise tax has been much needed. But that break at the gas pumps is expected to end in just a couple of weeks. As Sean O'Shea explains, calls are growing for the tax suspension to be extended as Canadians continue to struggle with the high cost of living.
About an hour north of Toronto stands the town of Innisfil. Getting around here usually means getting behind the wheel.
Yes, you have to use your car whether you like it or not.
Given the high cost of fuel and rising prices for other goods, many are feeling overwhelmed.
It's not only the gas the problem, right? Everything's going up and up and up.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Prices are going through the roof.
I still have to work full-time, 2 jobs, and go to school. And I still can't afford gas to take my kids anywhere.
And soon the price of the pump will likely bump up again. On Labor Day, the federal government's temporary freeze on excise tax will end. Since April, drivers have saved about 10 cents a litre for gasoline and 4 cents a litre for diesel fuel. The move coincided with the start of the U.S. war with Iran, when fuel prices soared. With the war continuing, the Canadian Taxpayers Federation is urging Ottawa not to reinstate the tax.
We have a simple message for the federal government. Don't hike the gas tax back up. Don't make life more expensive for Canadians who are still struggling.
On Sunday, the federal Conservative leader wrote a letter to Prime Minister Mark Carney asking the government to cut taxes even more.
Conservatives are calling on the Carney Liberals to cancel their September gas tax hike and eliminate all gas taxes from now until at least Canada Day.
The opposition Conservatives didn't spell out how that loss of gas tax revenue would affect government programs. Earlier this month, Ontario Premier Doug Ford also asked for an extension. We asked the government whether a change in plan is in the works, but we didn't hear back by our deadline. And if you ask drivers what they think,
any discount is worth it. Any discount.
We seen them take away these taxes, so we know that they can just, at a whim, take the taxes away.
If you could get a break, that'd be fantastic. I have no complaint with that.
Higher pump prices are especially challenging for commuters and people who live in communities like this one, without less expensive public transit options found in larger towns and cities. Colleen.
Sean O'Shea in Innisfil, Ontario. Thanks, Sean. Canada's Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc met virtually with his counterpart in Washington today ahead of Wednesday's looming tariff deadline. U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to impose a 50% levy on a variety of Canadian goods. Trump's trade envoy, Jameson Greer, carved out time on his birthday today for another round of talks with LeBlanc. Global's Reggie Cicchini is following developments in Washington. Reggie, what do we know about today's talks?
Colleen, Dominic LeBlanc's office says Sunday's talks gave both sides a chance to take stock at the work that's been done and the work that lies ahead. And that includes efforts to draft a deal U.S. President Donald Trump may find acceptable enough to stall or cancel planned 50% tariffs for this coming Wednesday. Little's been said publicly about what's been discussed behind a closed door, but sources tell Global News the gap is still wide. Industry groups from auto to lumber to dairy are worried that too much will be given away, a concern that was echoed by the opposition leader just hours before Sunday's latest round of talks.
No more concessions without wins for Canada. He's wasted a year and most of our leverage. It's time for him to turn our leverage into results.
Now, one piece of leverage has been those booze bans, and while it's been effective, premiers have been warned that restocking shelves may be imminent, but that could carry political cost. The move, however, could help form a deal that allows for more negotiating room on dealing with existing tariffs and for CUSMA negotiations. Without a deal, new tariffs could be catastrophic to small businesses.
It's also the ecosystem around them. It's all of the other small businesses, the truckers, the suppliers, and even the restaurants and barbershops that are in that community. So the ripple effect is severe and it is a real threat. We'll have to see. We're not hearing a lot of specifics out of the negotiation room. Although it's frustrating for people, it's a really good sign because the best deals happen behind closed doors.
So with the clock ticking, the Canadians are now aiming to draft a deal that's palatable both at home and to an unpredictable American president. Colleen?
Reggie Cicchini in Washington. Thanks, Reggie. Another signal, the governments of Quebec and Newfoundland and Labrador may have reached a critical energy deal. A news release says Newfoundland and Labrador Premier Tony Wakeman will welcome Quebec Premier Christine Frechette in St. John's tomorrow for an announcement on energy security and economic development. Prime Minister Mark Carney will also attend. The two provinces have been negotiating to share energy from the Churchill River in Labrador. Last week, Quebec newspaper La Presse reported a deal had been reached. The governments haven't publicly confirmed a final agreement has been signed, but the announcement could reset one of Canada's most contentious energy deals. In Hawaii, at least one person is dead while thousands are without electricity after Hurricane Lala moved through the island chain with powerful winds and rain. And there were fears the Category 1 hurricane would make landfall on Hawaii's Big Island when it approached Saturday morning. It ended up skirting the state and has weakened to a tropical storm. But as Candice Cole reports, it's left a lot of damage in its wake.
Saturday overnight, heavy winds from Hurricane Lala whipped across much of Hawaii, sending water gushing out of Rainbow Falls and Hilo, captured in this footage, battering parts of Hawaii's Big Island, Oahu, and Maui, with winds reaching up to 113 kilometers per hour.
It's not usually like this. It's like paradise here.
This woman who lives on the Big Island taking the dangerous weather conditions in stride as she hunkered down to wait out the storm.
I'm not nervous about the coconuts because if they fall, that's a good thing. I don't have to pay somebody to get them down. Because I'm most worried about the ocean breaking my house down and then washing us out to sea.
Those fears would become very real for some residents, according to Hawaii County's mayor, who said several homes had been swept off their foundations. Here he is with an update Sunday.
Went on a helicopter, did an aerial this morning, and that's devastation out in Pahala, out in Na'alehu, in Wahinu. Basically, Ka'u is struggling right now. But right now, Ka'u is our focus because of the devastation and the fact that Pahala right now is landlocked.
As those rescue efforts continue, multiple shelters have been set up across the island for those displaced by Lala.
We've opened up the Waikia High School shelter, and we're looking at housing close to, as much as 200 individuals in this space.
Lala is also affecting travel plans for those visiting the archipelago, with dozens of flights canceled and delayed.
It sucks kind of that we're affected by it, but we can't change it. We're going to make the best out of it.
According to the latest data from Hawaiian Electric, nearly 131,000 customers remain without power on Oahu, followed by 58,000 on the Big Island and 28,000 on Maui. Hawaii's Governor Josh Green said 3 hospitals also lost power but were supported by backup generators. Candice Cole, Global News, Washington.
Iran has accused Qatar of keeping 3 of its Air Force pilots prisoner for months after 2 of its fighter jets were shot down in Qatari airspace in March at the beginning of the war, claims Qatar denies. The jets were down just 3 days into the conflict, and while the body of a 4th pilot involved in the mission was returned to Iran, the other 3 have never turned up. Iran has demanded the release of the pilots, but Qatar categorically denies the accusations and says the pilots were not found during a search and rescue effort at the time of the crash. The top U.S. military commander in the Middle East has met with sailors and Marines on USS Abraham Lincoln as part of a 10-day trip to the region. The visit comes as family members of the crew expressed concerns about conditions aboard the ship, including mental health and supply issues. U.S. Central Command says Admiral Brad Cooper addressed the entire ship's company and thanked them for their dedication and courage. The aircraft carrier and its crew have been at sea for 9 months, 3 months longer than typical deployments. Ukrainian officials say Russian airstrikes have killed at least 5 people and injured another 10 at a market in Kyiv. But for the first time, Ukraine has used British-made drones to strike targets in Russia in what Russia's defense ministry says was Ukraine's largest-scale attack of the year. Vincent McAviney has more.
Ukrainian culture burning in the night. Russia claims it's targeting military sites, but this Kyiv marketplace was filled with small independent stores selling second-hand books and vinyl records. People were injured here, but no one died. Still, traders have been left devastated. There's absolutely nothing left. Books, just books. Yesterday, other shops received shipments of educational books, textbooks. Now all of it has been destroyed by those animals. After a strike like this, we don't know what we're supposed to do next. It hits ordinary people. Ordinary people have suffered. It's terrible. Ukraine launched their biggest drone attack of the year on Saturday night, leaving thick plumes of black smoke rising from this burning medical supplies warehouse. Just part of the damage from more than 600 Ukrainian drones launched at the Moscow region alone. In a neighbouring suburb, another warehouse ablaze. This one again belongs to online retailer Wildberries, the Russian equivalent of Amazon, which has seen over 20 of its facilities hit in just a month. Authorities say at least one man was killed in this latest strike. Ukraine maintains the company is a big supplier of the Russian military. On Saturday, President Zelensky hosted a UNESCO delegation to highlight the damage being done to Ukraine's cultural heritage. We need more cooperation with UNESCO and other global institutions that protect humanity and culture. More of our Ukrainian shrines deserve to become part of the UNESCO World Heritage and receive appropriate attention, protection and opportunities for restoration. For as long as Ukraine remains without sufficient Patriot air defense batteries, its skies stay exposed, risking lives and wiping out the cultural legacies of generations of its writers and artists. Vincent McAviney, Global News, London.
A murder trial 30 years in the making. Coming up, the life and death of rapper Tupac Shakur and the answers family and fans are seeking. Canada's women's flag football team beat the U.S. for the world title in Dusseldorf, Germany today. The team has also qualified for the Olympics when the sport makes its debut at the 2028 Games in Los Angeles. Canada's men's team also qualified after winning the third-place game over Mexico today. Tommy John, the Major League pitcher who had a surgery named after him, has died. John played 26 seasons in the big leagues, winning 288 games. He was the first pitcher to successfully return after undergoing a groundbreaking elbow surgery that was named after him. He died at his Florida home following hospice care. Tommy John was 83. Family and fans of legendary rapper Tupac Shakur hope a trial that gets underway in Nevada tomorrow will bring the answers they've wanted for decades. The 25-year-old was gunned down in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas in 1996, a crime that's remained unsolved for 30 years. Hadi Petrachuk has more on the murder trial and Shakur's enduring musical legacy.
Son, please don't forgive me for my sins, 'cause here I come.
Tupac Shakur wrote about poverty, racial injustice, gang violence. His raw rap lyrics taken from the pages of his own life, making him one of the most influential and successful artists of the 1990s.
You know they got me trapped in this prison of seclusion.
Tupac was very inspirational to people who had used hip-hop as a political tool.
Shakur's 1996 death became one of the most infamous unsolved crimes in popular culture. The 25-year-old gunned down in a drive-by shooting on the Las Vegas Strip. Rumors swirled it was part of a deadly East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry, and conspiracy theories flooded the early internet.
Tupac's music lived on well into my high school years in the mid-2000s. And everybody around us was into Tupac. You know, we all thought Tupac was coming back.
The family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice.
Come over here.
It wasn't until 2023 that police laid any charges. Investigators allege former gang leader Dwayne Davis, also known as Kyiv D, orchestrated Shakur's killing. His arrest, based largely on his own words in both a documentary and his 2019 memoir, in which he describes throwing a gun into the backseat of a Cadillac as he and 3 other men went looking for Tupac that night. The 3 others have since died. Davis now claims a ghostwriter penned the book, and he wasn't even in Vegas at the time.
Mr. Stamp has made you aware that you have the right to have the jury sentence you.
Jury selection wrapped up just this past Thursday. If convicted, Davis could face life without parole. The murder trial is expected to last more than a month. Opening statements are expected Monday. Heidi Petracek, Global News, Halifax.
Ahead, reduce, reuse and repair. How volunteers at a Halifax cafe are saving broken household items from the landfill for free.
I got it, oh my God!
A rare white humpback whale has been spotted off BC's north coast. The calf was seen with 2 other humpbacks, its pale color standing out. Whale researchers say it could be albino or have reduced pigmentation known as leucism. As the saying goes, everything old is new again. That's the idea behind a new program in Halifax. The Repair Cafe helps people extend the life of household items with volunteers doing the fixing for free. As David Murdoch reports, the goal is to reduce waste by keeping usable goods out of landfills.
The recently launched Halifax Repair Cafe takes place every 3 weeks at the Keshen Goodman Public Library. It's a free community event where broken things get a second chance.
We're a group of people who believe that it's better to repair stuff than to throw it away. A lot of the things that we purchase these days are really not built to be repairable. We believe that's the wrong way to do things.
Couch says they repair a wide variety of household things like electronics, bikes and fabrics. There's even someone helping upgrade Windows laptops to Linux. One customer was already dropping in for his second visit.
I really like this kind of initiative, and also this come to public library to serve for the people. And this where we know this place people converge to to enjoy the library, to have the social activities.
Lou says we should support what they're doing and help them recruit more volunteers. Nadia Gouda and her daughter Noor Mohammed plan to volunteer their own expertise. Gouda has a master's degree in electrical engineering and loves troubleshooting.
I believe that learning is faster when you are helping and when you are checking others' issues and trying to fix. And this is what I always learn. So I love to be part of that, and I love to meet with people who believe the same.
Mohammed is studying electrical engineering at Dalhousie University.
A lot of the expertise that I think I could bring would be 3D modeling or software, analyzing or going into exploring MacBook or Mac stuff.
Couch says the volunteers are also there to help people understand how things work and how you can repair them yourself.
If you're interested at all in kind of exploring the possibility of opening up the things that you own, that you bought, come on by and we'll help you open it up.
David Murdoch, Global News, Halifax.
Next, a box office revival. Why this summer may go down as one of the most profitable movie seasons in years.
Give me a sec. I'm not in high school anymore. Oh, did you stretch? You a big stretcher?
The spectacular Spider-Man is on a spectacular run at the box office. The superhero's new blockbuster, Brand New Day, has now earned $2 billion worldwide in just 3 weeks, the second fastest in movie history to do so. It's just one of 8 movies to cross the $2 billion mark, joining the likes of Avatar, Avengers Endgame, and Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Spider-Man and other blockbusters are making this the summer many of us are choosing to spend more time and more money in the dark. Our senior business editor, Jacqueline Hansen, looks at how Canadians are ditching small screens for big ones.
How far would you go to see a movie?
We came long way. The drive was almost 4 hours.
Of course, The Odyssey is not just any movie, and this is not just any theater. This projector one of just 9 in the country capable of showing IMAX films on the biggest screen with the best resolution. It's putting the Saskatchewan Science Centre on the map.
We're actually getting people from across Canada and North America.
An epic turnout for an epic film. But at theaters across the country, there have been multiple movies worth lining up for lately.
She thinks you're old because you're bald, Woody.
It's been hit.
Come on.
Fine. After hit.
It's just the summer that everyone's been waiting for the past several summers.
5 films this year have already made more than $1 billion. Add it all up, and it could be the strongest year for the box office since before the pandemic, especially as people splurge on those pricier IMAX tickets and VIP seats.
There's 3D, there's IMAX, there's all these different experiences. And we've seen the premiumization really proliferate, and I think this summer is the pinnacle.
But even as people spend more to go to the theater, they're still not going to as many movies as they used to.
Numbers have never gotten back up to the 2019 levels. So the fact that they're very close to that now has people optimistic.
Canadian theater chain Landmark Cinemas sure is.
It's the busiest we've seen since COVID.
And while those IMAX screens are big business for some,
by choosing to see your movie here in our theater,
ticket sales at Regina's nonprofit Science Centre are reinvested.
It really helps offset some of the costs of some of our other programming.
So the Odyssey is as exciting for them as it is for the people coming to it.
This is a special treat.
A treat that the entire industry hopes can help reignite a love for the big screen that keeps people coming back. Jacqueline Hansen, Global News, Toronto.
And that is Global National for this Sunday night. I'm Colleen Christie. Tonight's Your Canada is Simon Fraser University's pipe band, which just won this year's World Championships. The first winners from outside the UK in 16 years. It's their 7th time winning the title, beating more than 200 other bands at the annual competition in Glasgow, Scotland. Thanks for watching. Donna will be back with you tomorrow. Good night.